Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Hi, it's me again, Boss Lady, Renee, Empress. Don't matter what you call me as long as you call me. Hey, I'm back with you all again just to speak a little bit more about not allowing anything to deter you from your path. In life, we allow so many things, people, and places to deter us and to knock us off focus. And we have a path to walk. We all complain about this is not working right, or this is not going right, or this is going on in the world, but we never point the finger at us to see what we're doing or what we're not doing. God has a plan for us all, and as I've spoken about before, our plans are not His and His are not ours. And it's time now to take the time out to find out what it is that we're supposed to be doing, where it is that we're supposed to be going. We have to really sit down and think about these things and stop focusing on the mundane things in life. We focus on him, we focus on her, we focus on this, we focus on that, but we never take time to sit down and figure out what it is that we're supposed to be focusing on, what it is that we're supposed to be doing. We all have things to do in life. If we want to make this world a better place, we have to do our part. We can't continue to point the fingers at everyone else and we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We have to learn to take accountability and responsibility for our own actions. And we're at a point of life right now that when I say nothing and no one should stop you or deter you from your path, I mean nothing and no one. Because at the end of the day, we can only answer for us. I can only answer for Empress. I can only answer for Renee, And you can only answer for whoever you are. Like I said, when we get to that point of life, and that point of death, life, or whatever you want to call it, they're not going to ask me about this person or that person. I'm only going to be asked about the things that I was supposed to be doing and why I didn't do it, or why I didn't go there, or why I didn't say this, or whatever it is. I can only answer for me. And I can't come up with excuses because God knows everything. He sees everything. Regardless of what we're trying to not allow Him to see, He's all seeing. We have to realize that, and we have to remember that. So many things come up in life to where we feel like we don't have time to do this. We don't have time to do that. But we have time to go and clock in every day for those of us who have 9 to 5s. We go and we clock in regardless of how we feel. We go and we make sure we clock in no matter what we have to do or what we should be doing. We're there all the time to make sure that we're there to make sure that somebody else's things and somebody else's business ran right. And the whole time we're not running our things the proper way. And our things are the things that we're supposed to be doing, not just the things that we want to do. Those are also included. Those are extras. You know what I'm saying? But the things that we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be walking these paths to make the world a better place. We complain about, oh, this is going on in Ukraine. Oh, this is going on down the street. Oh, this is going on across the street. But what is going on in here? What is going on in here? We have to focus on those things. And we have to remain focused on those things. Oh my goodness, I'm coming to the point where we can't even allow children, husbands, wives, family members, not even ourselves, to stop us from doing the things that we know that we're supposed to be doing. And in order to make this world a better place, we have to really just sit down and ask ourselves, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Everybody's path is not your path, and yours is not everybody else's. But if we're all doing our parts in this body, everything is going to meet up, and everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to work out, and everything is going to turn out the way that it's supposed to turn out. And if there are things that are not in alignment with our path, it's time for us to release those things. It's time for us to let that go. And if you don't know how to do that, you find you someone to talk to. You pray to God. You talk to your spirit guides. You talk to your ancestors of love and light. You find out what it is that you need to release if you don't understand what it is that you should release. You get clarity on that. When I say, don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything knock you down. Because in order for us to do this thing and to do it right this time, y'all, we have to sit down and we have to reevaluate ourselves. We have to stand in that mirror sometimes and take a look at ourselves and stop doing this all the time and turn that finger around and turn it this way to yourselves to see, okay, what can I do to make life better? What can I do to make not just my life, somebody else's life better? We're supposed to be shining our lights on the world. We are lights of the world. So if we're lights of the world and we're dulling ourselves down for something or somewhere or somebody, we're not doing our jobs and we're not trying to move forward. And right now it's a lot of backward moving, and that's not the way it should be. We're supposed to be pushing forward, pushing to reach that next level, because it's a time for ascension. It's a time to ascend. It's a time to transcend. You know what I'm saying? So we have to make sure that we're doing our parts. And it doesn't matter what Joe is over there doing. You make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Stop pointing the finger and saying, well, you did this or you're not doing that. It does not matter what someone else is doing or what someone else did. What are you doing? What are you gonna do? You know, like I was calling for this world altar call, and I'm still calling for this world altar call because we truly do need it. It's just a time for those things. And somebody said, you're just supposed to do what you're supposed to be doing. Like I said, we can't continue to throw our responsibilities off on someone else and blame someone else for what they're not doing or what they are doing. Of course, again, I got on here to talk about this, but not really knowing what Spirit wanted me to say. But I do know that we are not to let anything get us off. We're not to let anything cause us to waver. This life is not going to last forever. We're not going to be in this flesh forever. And right now there's a lot of people who are living for the flesh. They're living for the flesh and living for the things of this world. But we're not supposed to be living for the things of this world. We're supposed to be living in this world to make things better in this world, so that when we do transcend on and we do transition, we know that this world is a better place for our children, our grandchildren, their grandchildren. You know, we want to keep that going on. We want to keep that moving. We don't want to be the ones that are sitting back and waiting on somebody else to break generational curses so that we can get out of bondage. We're here now. We're here in the now. And we should be doing these things right now, because we should be doing these things to make sure that our children are better, that the world is better, that our mothers are better, that our fathers, our families in general, you know, just people in general. We're not here to just merely exist. And I know that you all feel that pull. I know you all feel that pull. I couldn't be the only one. I've talked to several other people who are feeling this same pull as to there's something I must do. There's something I gotta do. Something I should be doing to make this better. What can I do? You know, those are the things that you should be asking yourself, so that you can get this clarity on what the next steps in life are. We have to stop being so concerned about everything and everybody around us and focus on self. Because like I said, no one can answer for you and you can't answer for anybody else. We have to stop living in the flesh, y'all. Because that's what's deterring us. That's what's stopping us. That's what's slowing us down. Because we don't want to get to know the spiritual side of ourselves. We don't want to get to, because that means we have to change some things. And that's okay. You have to change. I mean, if you're not changing, you remain the same. That means you're stagnated, and that means that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not doing your part. This whole world is like a body. God is the brain. We're the body parts. If that foot is not moving and the hand is not moving, that means there's somebody and somebody somewhere not getting the things that they want, getting the things that they need in life. That means we're not moving forward, period. Point blank, period. And I said, as far as like, we have to stop allowing our flesh to stop us because, ooh, this feels good. Ooh, I want to do this, but I want to do that. It does not matter what it is that you want to do. Do the things that you need to do so that you will be free to do the things that you want to do. You know, and once you actually start to wake up and live in your higher consciousness, consciousness, those things will fall away anyway. You won't even want to do those things anymore. Like I said, yeah, I used to smoke weed. It ain't been that long since I stopped. Maybe a month, maybe. And I've stopped longer than that before. I used to drink. I haven't drank in maybe 2-3 years, maybe. You know, but those are the things that God stopped. He took away from me because I needed clarity. I need a clear mind to do the things that I need to do for Him. And although those things, they were fun, yes, they were, but I enjoy this much better because now I know I have a purpose in life, and I'm not just doing things to be funny and have fun. I'm having fun doing this, and this is not something that's not fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have to make up our minds and actually want to do the right things in life. I'm not telling anybody to stop drinking, stop smoking. You do what it is that you do, but you have to realize that we can't continue to let our flesh be our downfall. It's so much going on in this world, y'all, that we have to stop being so selfish and only thinking about ourselves. It's so much to do. It's so much work to do. And we can't continue to depend on somebody else to do it. Me personally, I'd rather do it myself. That way I know it's being done right. You know. And we have to pray for this clarity. Pray that the flesh falls away. Because this flesh is not going with us to the other side. None of the things that we're doing are going with us to the other side. This stuff that we've been doing, that we know we weren't supposed to be doing, that karma is going to catch up with y'all. It just is. And I know everybody's heard karma is a mother effer. You know what I'm saying? But it truly is. And it does not matter. You could be paying for karma for many, many years. You may have done something 20, 30, 40 years ago, but now is the time to pay. Now it's time to pay the piper. So we have to think about those things. We have to go in and we have to ask for forgiveness for those things. You talk to God about those things. You ask forgiveness from God, but you also talk to whoever it is that you hurt, and you ask for forgiveness for those things. And that's a part of your path. The past is a part of your future. It just is. I mean, you can't have a future without having a past. So we have to go back and reevaluate those things and think about those things and take responsibility and accountability for those things. Like when I was listening to a reading the other day, and I was listening to her, and she was just talking about the different karmics that can be in your life and everything. And that's something I just hadn't really thought about, you know, about how you can give birth to your karmic. Your karmic could have given birth to you. You can marry your karmic. You know what I'm saying? But karma is going to come back to you, and it's how you handle it is what really counts and what really matters. You can't go around saying, well, oh, I didn't do this, or no, that should be over with by now. But like I said, our time is not God's time, and God's time is not ours. When He says time to pay, that's when it's really time to pay the piper. And we can't sit back and say, oh no, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But as I said, God sees all and He knows all. It doesn't matter what I know or what this person knows. We know that God knows these things. And that's why we have to be truthful, not just to other people. We have to be truthful to ourselves. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we got to pay for this stuff. We have to answer for these things. I'm telling you, like I'm saying, I've seen people who've done things years ago, and they're just now getting this karma. And it's hurtful to watch. It's hurtful. It is. But those things aren't for us. And you can feel bad for these people, but they have to face those things on their own so that they can get on the right path. And that's if you're really lucky. Because sometimes karma is death on this side. Which means you have to recycle that and do it all over again. I don't want to come back here and do this mess again, y'all. That's why I wanted to get it right this time. So when I'm sitting up high, I know that my babies got it. I know I've taught them well. I know I've trained them up in the way that they should go. Everything is not for everybody. And everybody is not for everybody. We have to let things go. We just truly do. And I know I talk about release all the time. I talk about releasing the old baggage, and so that we can receive our blessings. But we truly do. We can't have our hands closed because we're so trying to hold on to these things so tight. Holding on to people, places, things, secrets. Let it go so that you can be free. You'll never be free as long as you're holding on to things. You'll never be able to receive the blessings that God has for you as long as you're holding on to the old things. And it's not an easy job. It's not something that's easy to do. I didn't just wake up and say, you know what? Today, I'm going to start acting like I got some sense. I'm going to start doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to leave those fleshly things behind, those earthly things behind, and walk the path that God has me. This took a whole lot of prayer, a whole lot of meditation, a whole lot of crying, y'all. Like, seriously, because we don't want to release things. We don't want, because we're so used to those things. It's time to step outside of that box. Stop boxing ourselves in. And know that there's a bigger purpose out there. It's something bigger than us out there. None of this is truly about us personally. You know, we're doing things for other people. We're doing things for God, because He didn't place us here just say, okay, here y'all go, run free. No. We have to make good choices. We have to make sure that we're deciding to do the right things. We have to make sure that we're not hurting anybody on our path. And whatever it is, that the things that we decide to do in life, we have to sit back and think about the consequences before we even act on those things. Think about, okay, if I do this, who's going to be hurt by this? If I say this, who's going to be bothered by this? Whose life is it going to disturb? Whose life is it going to cause trauma to? Because we cause so much trauma to other people's lives without realizing it. And we sit back and feel like, oh, you should have gotten over that by now. Instead of sitting back, because you don't know what people are going through on a daily basis. And we have to think about those things. Before we take a step to do anything, we have to stop and think about the consequences that other people may have to face based on our actions. You can't go through life thinking that, oh, I do this, okay, it's not gonna, nobody's gonna know, and it's gonna be okay, and I'm just gonna go on with my life. That's not true. It's gonna eventually come back, and it's gonna come back and bite you in your ass. That's exactly what it's gonna do. So we have to think about these things. There is cause and there's effect. For every action, there truly is a reaction, and it's not for you to decide how that person is going to react to your actions. Maybe you may think people are they're overreacting, or it wasn't that bad, or this and that. You don't know what people are already going through in their life, things that you don't know about. I don't care how long you've known these people, you don't know what trauma people have faced or suffered in their lives. And then when you come along and you add on to that, and you do things that you don't want to take accountability and responsibility for, you're causing extra trauma. Then you feel like, oh, you should have gotten over that. How the hell can you tell somebody they should have gotten over that and how they should react to certain things unless you truly get to know people? You have to truly get to know people to know where they stand, and to know where they sit, either or. But we have to let these fleshly things go. We have to let these earthly things go. We have to move and work in the order of God. He's not going to tell us to do anything that we shouldn't be doing. And we've all heard the saying, He's never going to put in any more on us than we can bear. But what you can bear, I may not be able to bear. Because God didn't put that on me. You put that on me. And I said, it's all about taking responsibility, taking accountability. You have to be truthful. You have to be honest with people. You have to be straightforward with people. Life is too short for games. It's way too short for games. It's too short for deception. And the thing about it is, when you're deceiving other people, you're actually deceiving yourself. You're cutting yourself out of your blessings. You're stopping your blessing flow. Like I said, the flesh is weak. The flesh is really weak, but we have to realize these things aren't placed out here for our good. These shows on TV, all this mess, porn, I'm going to call it out. It is what it is. This music that we watch, these certain movies that we watch, everything, that's not for us. That's not for our good. That's not for our growth. It's about what you're choosing to do. Those are your life choices. No one is making you do anything, and you can't continue to blame anybody for your actions and your choices. That's why I said you have to walk your path. You can't let anybody stop you from that. I don't care what's going on in life. I don't care what type of disturbance that's going on in your life. You still have to move forward, and you have to push forward and do the things that you know that you're supposed to be doing. God didn't make you stupid. He did not make you stupid. God does not confuse you. Anything of confusion, we know exactly where that comes from. That comes from the devil. And I'm not on here trying to preach to anybody. I just know that everything is not for everybody. If you're doing something that you know is going to hurt somebody else, you should stop. Or you should just get away from that person so that you can do the things that you want to do. Go on, do what you want to do. But you don't bring anybody into your mess. And you don't allow your mess to fall over into anybody else's life. Like I said, you can't control the reaction. You can only control the action, because that action is your choice. No matter how long it takes for their reaction to come about, you have to give people time to process these things. If you've made bad choices in life and you know that it has caused somebody else heartache, pain, trauma, it's not up to you to decide how long that trauma should last. It's not up to you to decide how long that person is going to react to your actions. Because the thing about it is, you should have thought about your actions at the time. You should have thought about there's going to be a reaction regardless. And like I said, there are things that we have to let go of. There are things that we don't want to let go of, but there are things that we actually have to let go of. And like I said, that's not something that's easy to do. So if it's not something that's easy to do, I said just, you move on, you get rid of those things, and you just be strategic about how you do it. It's not so that because someone hurt you, you don't purposely go and hurt them back. If someone has done something to cause you some type of pain or trauma, you don't return that. You don't play eye for eye. You do the things that you're supposed to be doing. You do things the way you know God would want you to do them, regardless of how somebody feels about your reaction to it. It's not for them, because your reaction is your reaction. And if they want you to react a different way, they should have made better choices in life. And that's not for you to feel bad about, because those weren't your actions. If you know that you're a good person, you know that you're around here doing the things that you should be doing on purpose, that's not for you to worry about. That's not something for you to even feel bad about. You can feel bad or sorry for these people if you want to, but you don't have to, because that's not for you to do that. Because when they were doing the things that they were doing, were they feeling sorry for you? Were they thinking about the consequences then? Were they thinking about how you were going to react? No. Those are selfish thoughts. Those are selfish feelings these people have. A lot of people have. The thing about it is, and no matter how you tell them how you feel, they still want to say, well, you did this and you did that. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you. I know what I paid for. I know what God has already brought me through and taken me through so that I can get to this point now. We have to start cleaning our lives out. Clean your life up. Clean your life up. Sit back and reevaluate. Look in that mirror and stop thinking, well, I don't want to be judged because if I tell them this or if I show them this side of me. Just show people who the hell you truly are. Be yourself. Be your true self. And if that's something that you don't like, that means you need to change. That means that you need to do better. You need to make better choices. And you can't make choices that are based on just you, because it's not just you. I don't care if you don't have a wife or husband or children or whatever. There are millions and billions of people in this world. Each action that we take, it causes a reaction to somebody, somewhere, somehow. And we have to realize that. And if you don't realize that, that's because you're still living in the flesh. You're still living in this world. and you're living of this world. You have to, there's nothing like taking accountability and responsibility. I promise you it's not. So that when that time comes, when it's time for you to actually sit before that judgment, that judge, you know that you have a pure heart. You know that you have a clean heart. You know, I can sit here and say, no, I'm good. I've done everything I need to do. I've said everything that I need to say, and I can do that with a pure and clean heart, and I can do that with a pure and clean conscience, because I know that it's the truth. And I can say, you can put my hand on the Bible, and I can say, yeah, I'm good. My slate has been wiped clean. But you have to go through the process. You have to do the works. You just can't say, like I said, I didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what? Today this is what I'm going to be. Today this is what I'm going to do. Today this is the way I'm going to act or behave. No, we have to actually go through that process. We actually have to do the work. You have to do your prayers. You have to go and ask for forgiveness. Not just from God. You have to go and ask for forgiveness from people, places, things, whatever it is. You have to take that accountability. That's when you are truly an adult. When you can take accountability for your actions. When you say, yeah, I did this. I apologize for it. I'm asking you for your forgiveness, or whatever it is. Like I said, until you do those things, you can't walk your path the way you truly need to walk your path. You can't do the things that you need to do. And then your life is truly, you are truly living in vain. As you know, people say, you know, I want to be more and more like Christ. You know, I want to be this and I want to be that. And it was everybody used to be wearing those necklaces and bracelets talking about what would Jesus do. I know he wouldn't do that. I know he wouldn't do this. But you know that too. We know what we're supposed to be doing, what we're not supposed to be doing. And like I said, if you don't know, that's when it's time to get down on your knees and you have to pray and you ask for clarity. You ask God what path you're supposed to be walking. You ask him for the things and information that you need so that you can have a clean slate and so that you can walk the way you're supposed to walk. That is meant for you to walk. And I know there are evil people in this world, but they have a job too. But the thing about it is, if they're doing their job so well, you need to make sure you doing yours double time. You need to make sure you on your game and you on point at all times. You can't be caught slipping. You can't say, oh, you know, my bad, I slipped up. Me personally, it's no reason, and there's no such thing as slipping up, because when I thought about doing it, I also had the opportunity to think about not doing it and think about the consequences that it's going to have on my life and the people that are around me and the people that I say I love and the people who say they love me. I say, y'all, don't let nothing stop y'all. Don't let nothing take you off. Do the things that you need to do the work. I mean, you can't just sit back and say, you know, okay, yeah, I've done this and I've said this now let me see what's going to happen. What else are you doing? God is up working for us all day, all night, every day, every night, 365 days of the year. It's non-stop. Where do we get the idea that we're supposed to stop? That I've done my part. There's no such thing as you've done your part. It's a constant. It's something that goes on and on. It's just like I was talking about the energy. Energy does not stop moving. So once you rejuvenate and regenerate, you're supposed to be moving. You're supposed to be in constant motion, doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, and making sure you're not doing the things that you're not supposed to be doing. Because I don't care how it feels or how it makes you look. On the outside, it's about what's on the inside. How does it make your heart look? How does it make you feel? It never feels good to hurt anybody. It shouldn't. It's not good to know that I wake up every day and my life is just in pure existence. It shouldn't, because that's not why we're here. We have things to do. And as long as you're not doing your job, you're causing somebody else to overwork on their job. And that's not fair. But while you're allowing them to overwork on their job, they're getting those double blessings too. So you have to think about that, because they may be getting some of yours. The things that you are supposed to have had you done the things that you were supposed to be doing. I said that's something to read your Bible. Get into the Word. Do your research. I mean, while Google is still here, do it. Ask for clarity. Talk to people. Let people know where your mind is. Let people know how you feel. And if there's something going on with you, ain't nothing wrong with talking to somebody about it. Talk to somebody about it. Let them know what's going on, because it may feel like they may get clarity from that. Oh, okay, so this is why this is happening. Oh, so this is why that is happening. This is why this went bad or this went right or whatever the situation is. But allow people that opportunity to make those decisions for themselves. You can't take those choices from other people because you're selfish. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who has something to say about it. That's what it is. It's pure selfishness. Because people want to do what they want to do instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing. People want to walk. You want to walk Miss Joanne's path, but you don't want to walk yours. You can tell Miss Joanne how she's supposed to be doing this and this and that, but you ain't doing shit. Absolutely nothing. But you can sit back and tell everybody what they're supposed to be doing and how they're supposed to be doing. But what are you doing? What role are you playing? What are you taking accountability for? What responsibility are you taking in making sure your path is clear so that you can walk it clearly without stumbling on unnecessary things, on the things that you've placed in front of you? Every stumbling block is not something somebody else placed in front of you. These are stumbling blocks that we're creating for ourselves on our own, and they're very unnecessary because, like I said again, it goes back to selfishness. You're only thinking of self-fulfillment, whatever the words are, but it's all about selfishness. At some point, we have to realize our paths are not just for us. This journey is not just for us. Because if it was, what was the purpose of Eve? Surely and truly, they said, as it said, Adam was bored. He was lonely, rather. I mean, okay, he was lonely, but Eve came in to be his helpmeet. But Eve can't continue to be your helpmeet if you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Helpmeet means I help you meet these ends. That doesn't mean that you take on the whole responsibility and what you can do, you do it. No. That's not the way it goes. And if there is a role of a man and a woman, everybody has their own opinions on it, but you play the role. You can't have that woman playing the role of the man and the woman and you step in when you want to step in, or vice versa. Having that man playing that role of a man and a woman, and then that woman just step in when she want to step in. No, it has to be equal give and take all the way around. And like I said, he took that rib from Adam's side. He took that rib from Adam's side. That means that woman's supposed to be walking you and that man are supposed to be walking side by side, doing things side by side. And it's supposed to be equal give and take. Not I give to you when I feel like it. I do this when I want to. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That's causing an imbalance in your relationship, in your life, in everything. Because if there's an imbalance at home, there's going to be an imbalance everywhere in your life. And we have to realize that and start thinking about these things. Like I said, stop thinking about self all the time. It ain't all about you. It's really never about you. And we all have dreams and we all have aspirations, but we have to make sure that those dreams and aspirations are in alignment with the Most High. Everything has to be in alignment with the Most High, because He is the great divine creator. And if there's an imbalance in your life anywhere, like I said, you need to be trying to sit back and find out what is really going on and see how you can correct that. Because it can be corrected. It doesn't even matter if you're going through some karma. It doesn't matter. That if you're still breathing, you still have time to make things better. You still have time to make things right. And you're not doing this because of you. You're not doing this for you. You're doing this for everybody around you. First and foremost, you're doing this for the divine creator. Because like I said, he did not create us and he did not place us here to just merely exist. We're here to work. We're supposed to be breaking generational curses. We're supposed to be bringing in this generational wealth. We're supposed to be recreating history. And like I said, we didn't have that past, that history, we would never have a future. We can't look to the future without looking back at what we've come through and what God has brought us through. Because I can personally look back on my life and I can see how he's brought me through so much. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it hadn't been for him. I can look back on my life right now and see how he has saved me. And I know I couldn't even think of or see all the times, but if I can look back now and see, oh, you know, he brought me out of this and he saved me from this, and I remember he pulled me out of the lines then, that's something to be grateful for. That's something that should make you want to do better and make better choices and just be a better person and do the things that we're supposed to be doing. We can't, like I said, we cannot continue to point the finger at everybody else. We point every day. We point the finger at everybody. Oh, I did this because of this. Oh, I did this because I was upset. Oh, I did this because of that. I did this because she said this, and because you were acting a certain way, you was acting silly. Find out why that person was acting silly. Because everything that's silly to you ain't silly to everybody else. Everything that's stupid to you is not stupid to that person. You need to find out why these people are feeling the way that they're feeling. First of all, you need to figure out what you have done to cause these things. Stop pointing your finger and find out the things that you have done. Take accountability and responsibility for your actions, y'all. Because whether you confess it to that person or those people or whatever, like I said, God sees everything. And he knows everything. That's the reason he sits high and looks low. I don't know about y'all, but I want to be sitting at that table with him. So I'm going to do the things that I need to do to make sure that I'm sitting at that table with him one day. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care whose toes I have to step on. I don't care who I have to leave behind. I don't care who I have to cross. I'm not going to cross anybody the bad way. I'm talking about cross to keep on going. I don't care, because that is not my focus. My focus is on the Most High and doing the things I'm supposed to be doing and walking the path that he has laid before me. And it's not an easy path, because like I said, there's a lot of things I've had to give up. But that is nothing compared to the glory that I know I'm going to receive. That's the focal point right there. That glory, oh my God. Those things, I'm not even talking about material things. I'm talking about just to see his face in his full glory. That right there alone, that's enough for me to say, you know what, forget this mess, forget this worldly shit. I'm going to leave this behind and do the things that I need to be doing. Like I said, it's all about making good choices, making good decisions, deciding to do the right thing for once. Taking self out of it. There is nothing that I do for myself. When I started my business, Bossing Up Empire, that was never for me. It was actually, in the beginning, it was started for my ancestors, so that I can break these generational curses, so that we can have a better life. My children can have a better life, and they won't have to be scuffling and suffering the way I've had to. Because whether we realize it or not, if you have children, whatever choices that you make in life, they are affected by it. Period. And we need to make sure that we're doing things and living our lives for them, because like I said, they are our future. And like I said, if I have to leave this world today, knowing that they're our future, or if I happen to get down, Lord forbid, and they're our future, they're the ones who have to take care of us, that's a very scary thought. because they're not prepared. We haven't prepared them because we're not prepared, because we're still living for self, living for the flesh. We have to let that mess go and move on and move forward. We can't move forward if we're still living for this world. We can't move forward if we're still wondering, oh, if I say this, or if I do this, or if I tell that, how that person gonna feel or how they're gonna react. Screw that. You should have thought about that when you were doing certain things. Make better choices and move forward. It's nothing that you can do about the things that you have done. Only thing you can do is ask God and those people that you maybe hurt for forgiveness and move on and do the right thing. Our children should not have to suffer for the mistakes that we've made in life, because that's what they are. Regardless if they were our own choice or not, they are mistakes, and it's okay to look at them as mistakes. But we have to realize they're no longer mistakes if we continue those cycles over and over again. They're not a mistake then. Then it's an actual choice. You're choosing to do the things that you're doing. You're choosing to be the person that you are. Stop letting your flesh interfere with your path. When I say don't let anything deter you from your path, that's your flesh as well. That's mainly your flesh, first and foremost. You don't let anything stop you from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. You know what you're supposed to be doing. I don't care if you sit down and pray. You know what you're not supposed to be doing, even if you don't know what it is that you're supposed to be doing. I don't care if you grew up without a mama, you grew up without a daddy. Life has taught you about the things that you're not supposed to do. Someone has been there along the way. Somebody, I don't care if it was a neighbor, your pastor, whomever. Someone has taught you right from wrong. And I feel bad for those who haven't had anybody. But we're all born with a sense of, I don't even know the words for it right now, but we all have this feeling inside of us to let us know, this impeding feeling inside of us that lets us know, no, I shouldn't do that. But once you cross that barrier and say, just scratch that out, I don't care, I'm just going to do it anyway, or I'm just going to say this anyway, I'm just going to go here anyway, that's when it's not an accident, it's not a mistake. That is your true choice. And you truly do have to suffer for those choices that you made in life. We all do. And you're lucky if karma come back and kick you in your ass right quick instead of waiting years and years and years later. Like I said, everything is not for everybody. And everybody is not for everybody. Make better choices. Make good decisions. Take accountability. Take responsibility. Walk your path. Let nothing stop you. Don't let anyone or anything take you off your path. Because once you're taken off that path, I don't care how far you've gotten on that path. Once you allow something to take you off that path and knock you off that path, you have to start back from scratch. And I'm sorry, I don't want to start back at the basics. I don't want to start back from the beginning. Because I know how hard I've worked. I've worked my ass off to get to this point in life. And I'm to the point, I don't care if I have to do it by myself. But no one is going to reap the benefits of you doing something if you're not freaking doing anything. You're not even going to reap the benefits. You have to move your body. Move your body. Get up and move. Exercise your brain. Don't listen to everybody else. Not even me. Do your research. Get online. Get in these books. Find out for yourself the things that you're supposed to be doing and places you're supposed to be going. The walk that you're supposed to be walking. I said, nobody can make those decisions for you but you. Nobody. But we also have to realize nobody's going to suffer those consequences but you. And your children. And your children's children. And your children's children's children. So stop being selfish. And stop only thinking about yourself. Take accountability, y'all. Don't let anything knock you off your path. I promise you, it is not worth it. It is not worth it. It's not worth the pain that you were eventually going to have to face. And we have to remember, for every action, there is a reaction. And there are consequences for good actions as well as bad actions. Yeah, we have to do better. We have to be better people. We truly do. Like I said, get in your Bibles, talk to God. Read other books outside of the Bible so that you can get a clear understanding and a real understanding. Because, like I said, my God, my divine creator, he's not stupid enough to put everything in one book. And if you think so, you need to go back and you need to talk to him about this. He says study and show yourself approved. You should be studying and showing yourself approved. Like I said, you're lucky if you get another shot. You're supposed to live today as if it's your last. And I promise you, on my last days, if I'm living today as if it's my last day, I don't want to be caught partying. I don't want to be caught out here getting high, drunk, getting intoxicated. I want to have a clear mind, so when he calls my name and calls me to him, I want to hear it the first time he calls. I don't want someone to have to tap me on my shoulder and say, "Hey Renee, I think that's God calling you." I want to be able to answer the call. I want to have my hand raised before he get my name all the way out. We have to be better people, y'all. We have to make better choices in regards to how anybody feels about it and about you making the decisions that you're making and walking the path that you're walking. It don't matter if somebody feels some type of way about it. That's on them, baby. You're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because we're not supposed to be living for people. We're supposed to be living for the Most High, the Divine Creator. And until we understand that this life is never going to get better for you or anybody else around you. Because we have to remember, our actions are consequences not only for us. Those around us have to suffer those consequences as well. Okay, so I'm finna get on off of here. Like I said, let nothing, no one, nowhere stop you or deter you from your path. You continue to walk your path. I don't care what's going on in your life on a daily basis. You still get your tail up and do what you're supposed to be doing. And you deal with that mess later. Because I promise you, there's enough going on in this world, in this spiritual world, period, to be worried about anything else, to be thinking about anything that's unnecessary, anything that could have been changed, anything that can be better because of somebody else's action, or even because of your own actions. Change your ways and do better and be better. Stay on your path. Stay on your path. Continue to walk in your destiny. Move your body. You are pure energy. Move your body. Use your brains. Do the things that you need to do. Research the things that you need to research so that you can do and go the place that you need to go in life. Because I promise this life, it doesn't have to be hard. We make it hard. Nothing starts off hard. We make these things hard by the decisions that we make in life. By those selfish choices that we make in life. We make it hard. And we're not only making it hard for ourselves, for those of us who have children and loved ones, we're making it hard for all of those around us. Because no one should have to adapt to your negative energy, to your low vibration, in order to keep peace. Make better choices. Stay on your path. I love you all. Remember to like, subscribe, share. I love you all. I'll be back when I be back. I move when Spirit tells me to move, just like that.